What's up, guys? Check out this classic 1976 KZ900. Absolutely beautiful piece. One of the rare survivors, only 26,000 original miles on it. Sporting the period correct Kirker 4-in-1. Makes a beautiful sound. The engine's just been rebuilt by Jeff Castine at All Sport Cycles. And this was owned by his good friend, Bud Smallwood, who is somewhat of a Kawasaki buff. He has a beautifully restored 650 and a couple 900s. And he's liquidated a whole bunch of his bikes to us last winter. This is one of the bikes he was holding out on. He finally decided to sell it, so we picked it up and we're reselling it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's been completely redone, cosmetically, new paint job. The seat has been recovered. It's got Metzler tires, Metzler tire on the front. The Kirker exhaust is the original Kirker from the late 80s, so that's been on there. It's an original style two-piece Kirker. It has the slip-on pod filters. Jeff went through the whole motor. I'll grab the work order, but from memory, I know he put a new base gasket, new head gasket, redid the valves, put new rings on it, refreshed the whole top end. That's just been done, less than 100 miles on it. Everything works great, and it's a beautiful classic. If you look at the values of the Kawasaki's, this KZ900, the NADA has a #1 Blue Book value of 16,000, #2 value around 10. We've had a few of these come through the shop, and heck, we actually auctioned one off with a seized motor and a rusted out muffler, and it sold for $5,000. There's no way you could turn something like that into this for that much money, you know?
That bike was actually a Z1B that he's talking about, but KZ900's first year in 76, they have sold regularly in the ballpark of 10 to 12,000.
Beautiful piece, shows really well. The gauges are in beautiful condition, showing 27,600 miles. I believe these are the original handlebars on it. Front end, everything on the bike's original. No evidence of it ever being crashed. Rear fender, front fender are the originals, in good shape. Let me go over the work order here. I'll tell you what we did. The bike was steam cleaned. The fuel tank and fenders were buffed and waxed after they were painted, and the original graphics were installed. The badges are in beautiful condition. All the aluminum and the chrome was cleaned and polished to the best of our ability. The chassis was touched up, the original factory black. The engine cylinder and head were cleaned with the Scotch-Brite. Pads cleaned and polished in between the fins. The aluminum side covers were polished. The seat was conditioned with the conditioner. All the controls were cleaned up and touched up. The rims and spoke nipples were cleaned. The side stand and center stand were repainted, original black, and it was given what we call a rotisserie detail, top to bottom. Once it got back from All Sport Cycle, from having the engine rebuilt, we gave it the full rotisserie detail, which is basically a top to bottom. Every inch of the bike's cleaned and polished, so it looks nice and fresh. It has VP non-ethanol fuel in it. Going over the work order from All Sport Cycles. Let's see here. Got a couple pages to go over. It has a brand new battery, brand new spark plugs. The carbs are completely rebuilt with new intake needle and seats and bowl gaskets. New throttle cables. There's 2. 4 spark plugs. Of course, oil was changed. It has a new regulator, rectifier, and new fuel line and filters, and also 2 mirrors were installed. 2 new mirrors on it. The engine internals, that's on another page here. Bear with me for a second. Let's see. Has a new head gasket, new base gasket, all new rings, new set of cam end plugs, a new valve cover gasket, oil and filter and plugs, of course. And again, I already said the battery. New valve seals. So he rebuilt the top end, went through the carbs, disassembled, and completely refurbished the carbs inside and out, and the top end. So the horn button was fixed and adjusted. They adjusted the horn. You can actually adjust the horn so they sound right. Sounds great. That pretty much sums it up. New needle and seats on the carbs, new fuel lines and filters, added new connectors on the fuse block, installed the regulator rectifier. It now charged at 14.7 volts. So I have the clean title in hand here. So under Bud Henry's name, and some other service tickets here, previous service tickets. I've got pages of services that were done to it. New clutch cable, but I won't bore you with all those. Let's go over it also has a Dyna S coils. So in addition to the plugs, the coils were upgraded. It should be pretty much, not should be, it is pretty much, it is ready to ride cross country. It needs nothing, ready to go. If you have any questions about it, give us a call, 860-454-7024. These are getting hard to find, especially one that's had a fresh top end rebuild on it, and it's been tuned nicely. So Junior had his choice of any bike to ride at Daytona last year when we went down, and the bike that he bought down there was a 76 KZ900. We actually have, actually yours is a 75, isn't it?
Yeah, mine's a 75.
Yep, 75 Z1 that he rides. So pretty much looks almost identical to this bike right here, but they switched to the KZ nameplate. So, and I'll tell you, it turned a lot of heads. You know, I was on a brand new Harley Davidson, and no one could give a rat's ass about middle-aged guy on a actually I think I'm past middle age. I got my AARP card, but it drew. I had a new CVO Dyna, and it drew virtually no attention. And everywhere we went on the KZ900, people were crowding around it at gas stations. You just don't see too many of these on the road anymore. And Junior eventually put a not for sale piece of paper on the front of it everywhere we parked, so people would stop harassing them. But it's pretty much what you got to do with these, because everybody is interested in these. So, and they're getting harder to come by. If you have any questions about it, give us a call, 860-454-7024. So before I forget, I wanted to add the value of the restoration and preservation that's been work that's been done to the bike, between all the detailing, the paint job, and rebuilding the motor. The service tickets we have added up to $4,000. So it's not like buying one that isn't running and that needs a carb clean that you have to drop $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in to get right. This one's turnkey, ready to go. Hop on it and ride cross country. So awesome, classic Kawasaki. They're getting harder to find with low miles that have been preserved like this one. So if you have any questions, call us. All right, thanks for watching. God bless America.